Hey, Melanie Beckler here. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 ways that spiritual beings are influencing you with or without your conscious awareness. So I've mentioned before that we are always surrounded by an entire ocean of spiritual beings who are guiding, assisting, or influencing in a detrimental way. So the more conscious we can become, the more we're able to discern what are our own thoughts and impulses to action, and where are we being influenced by external spiritual beings. And then, if we are receiving guidance from external spiritual beings, is that guidance in alignment with our highest and greatest good, and do we want to act upon it? So, the 4 ways spiritual beings are influencing you. Number 1, at the level of your deep subconscious mind. And this impulse, this guidance, this influence comes through your impulses to action. So without knowing why, or without feeling strongly either way about it, you get an impulse to create some change, to take some action in your life in a beneficial light. This could be an impulse to meditate, an impulse to clean up your diet, to start exercising, even to move across the country. I live in Sedona, and many people here don't really know why they're here. They just moved here because of some impulse to action, which in most cases is influenced by an external spiritual being. In a negative sense, an impulse to action from a spiritual being could be to just say F it and just get drunk or take that drug in order to suppress whatever you're feeling, mood alter, to essentially attempt to ignore what's happening in the physical reality for a temporary shift in mood caused by a substance. And yes, there are spiritual beings who promote substance use and abuse that ultimately is not for your highest and greatest good. So being aware of this, you can begin to observe your impulses to action. Pay attention to the impulses to action you have and ask yourself, and just begin to observe so that you can later discern, is this coming from your true soul, your inner divine being? Is the impulse to action being influenced by an external source? And is that external source, is that external spiritual being a benevolent, guiding light of the middle path? Or are they influencing you to become unbalanced, to go more towards materialism or ungrounded spirituality? So the second way that spiritual beings influence you is at the level of your subconscious mind, which is at the level of your feelings. And this is one, when I'm not consciously paying much attention, that really happens to me a lot. I'll get a strong feeling that something's not quite right, or a strong feeling that I need to do something. And this could be an emotional feeling like love or anger or even fear, or it could just be a general sense that something is or is not in alignment with you in the moment. So it's guidance, influence at an emotional level. And so again, the more you're able to be aware of your natural emotional state and allow emotions to pass through you without latching on, without getting spiraled into them, the more you're able to step back and observe and allow that emotion to flow through, the more you're able to realize and recognize, is that emotion coming up as a result of something happening in your life? Is it a result of some past trauma or pain needing to be integrated or released? Or is there an external impulse from a spiritual being coming in? This isn't always bad either. I do want to clarify that. On every level, we live in a dualistic universe, and so there's beneficial and detrimental spiritual beings that are influencing you. That's why discernment is so key. On the positive side, the angels especially will wrap you in wings of love, help you to feel loved and supported and nurtured, help to reconnect you with joy and with enthusiasm, with divine light. So again, that happens through emotion at the level of your subconscious mind. The third way that spiritual beings are influencing you, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, is at the level of the conscious mind. And this is where you begin to receive guidance through thought forms that may be in your exact own voice. So you may, if you're not consciously aware, think that that guidance is your own thought, that thought to do something, the thought form of guidance. And so you can begin to become aware of whether the thoughts are your own or are external spiritual beings influencing you by gaining clarity of thinking, by learning to quiet your mind and to quiet the spiral of thoughts by consciously cultivating a practice of tuning in to inner stillness, peace, and calm, tuning into the space between thoughts, because when that is your norm and that is your foundation, you're then able to, through your day-to-day life, observe your thinking and observe not only when thoughts from external spiritual beings are influencing you, but you can observe your own thoughts and recognize where you're thinking in alignment with what you want and where you're thinking at a level of judgment, at the level of the inner critic that will serve you greatly in letting go of. So becoming more consciously aware at any level is beneficial in recognizing how you're being influenced by spiritual beings and then being able to consciously receive guidance, inspiration, and insight from the beneficial spiritual beings, the beings of the middle path who are seeking to guide, support, and assist you in your life. There are 4, yes. And finally, the 4th way spiritual beings are influencing you and guiding you and communicating with you is at the level of the superconscious mind, at the level of higher consciousness. So this is the level that's really the most powerful, the most in-depth, the most enlightening, and the most profound. And the level that you really have to get yourself up to in order to communicate with the angels, with the spiritual beings, with the spirit guides who transmit at this superconscious level. It's much closer to their natural form, so the guidance comes in with frequency, as an energy download, as what's sometimes called a packed thought form, or a download, where you receive this entire picture, this entire plane of awareness, this vast data bank of knowledge all at once. It's a telepathic transmission that is an entire knowledge base of information in a flash, in an instant. I do sometimes call these downloads, where you receive so much, and then when you bring it back down to the level of your conscious mind, there's the process of unpacking it, of consciously realizing what all is there. So again, even though you're able to elevate into this super conscious state in meditation, it's then essential to anchor it down into your conscious mind so that you can discern what guidance did you receive. Is this beneficial for you? Is this something you want to act upon? So really at all of these 4 levels at which we all are influenced by spiritual beings, there is an opportunity to gain clarity and to be able to discern what you're receiving, how you're being influenced, and whether you want to act upon it. This is your power. This is what it means to be a human being, a spirit of love and freedom. It's that you have the freedom of will, of choice, the freedom to choose how you react. And so just because some creepy lower spiritual being is trying to influence you to take an action that's out of alignment with your divine truth, with your divine I am core of light, That doesn't mean you have to do it. It doesn't have to adversely affect you at all if you recognize it for what it is, as low-level negative guidance that you can ignore, that you can choose to re-surround yourself with light and love, to return to your divine I am core, to return to presence and to clarity, to elevate and expand your consciousness so that you can receive the guidance, the downloads, the healing frequency, and the love from the highest level spiritual beings of the middle path who are available for you to connect with. You simply have to meet them halfway. To elevate your consciousness and to raise your vibration, knowing that you are guided, you are supported, and the more conscious, the more aware you are able to become, the more helpful and supportive that guidance can be for you on your path, and the more effortless it becomes for you to avoid the negative will impulses, the negative feeling guidance, even the negative thought forms of lower beings, of beings who are off and out of alignment with the middle path. So these are the 4 ways that spiritual beings influence you. It's also how they communicate, guide, and assist. Become more conscious, elevate your light to receive, discern, and use the guidance from the spirit world to help you advance in your life to embodying more of your divine truth and living in alignment with your highest joy, your greatest love, and your truest purpose. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, comment, and let me know what you liked about it. If you would like more videos about how to communicate and discern the levels of guidance from spiritual beings. As always, I thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate you. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and then I will see you on the next video.